heavy rainfall, flooding, prolonged heat waves and drought. The impacts of climate change are already clearly noticeable in our cities today. In the coming years, such extreme weather events will occur even more frequently. This creates challenges that must also be considered in future urban planning. With comprehensive systems for rainwater management, HAURATON, based in Rastatt, is making an important contribution to future-proofing our cities.
The urban heat island effect is becoming increasingly evident, especially in cities. All the sealed surfaces heat up. Trees play a crucial role in addressing climate change. A tree functions like a small air conditioning unit. By absorbing water and releasing it through evaporation, it draws heat from its surroundings and cools the air. Trees also provide many additional benefits. They filter pollutants from the air and bind CO2. They're equally important for people in their well-being. What would a city be with nothing but concrete and asphalt? Urban trees face a particular challenge. Even when rainfall is heavy, as it increasingly is, the water often does not reach the trees. Tree pits are too small. Water cannot infiltrate into the soil. We have been collecting rainwater for decades. Now we also want to use it and make it available to the trees that urgently need it.
Smart rainwater management creates multiple benefits. It relieves sealed surfaces, removes pollutants from precipitation, and either directs it to urban trees or returns it to the groundwater. This principle is clearly demonstrated by the DrainFix clean filter channel, which shows how the system works.
The principle is straightforward. We have a channel body, like the ones you can see behind us. There is a drainage pipe that carries the water away. And here we have the filter unit. Collected water enters at the top. Usually it comes from a traffic surface that is contaminated with pollutants. It flows through the channel body. Solid matter such as road abrasion, tire wear, larger particles, and organic material like leaves or pollen are retained at the surface. Because we use a finely balanced Carbotec filter substrate, sedimentation takes place on the surface. The retained solids are deposited there. Over time, a layer forms. This is how pollutant retention works. If the filter cake becomes too thick, it can be removed. The system can then continue to operate. Persistent pollutants that must not enter the groundwater are safely retained. In this way, we protect the groundwater. The cleaned water can infiltrate safely. It can also be collected and reused later. In urban areas, more trees are being planted. Cities are becoming greener. Blue-green infrastructure is in demand.
Rainwater that previously disappeared unused into the sewer system is now treated as a valuable resource. Toren Österle summarizes the key aspects of comprehensive rainwater management.
Rainwater that falls onto a surface is directed into this drainage channel. This channel is filled to a defined height with our Carbotec filter substrate. The rainwater reaches the substrate, is filtered, and then collects as treated water in the drainage pipe. At this depth, we can discharge it directly through a connection into the tree's root zone. This offers a major advantage. There are no evaporation losses. Everything that enters the channel from the connected surface is conveyed directly to where the tree needs it most. To take a comprehensive approach, especially in rainwater management, you must understand the path of the water. Where does it come from? Which surfaces does it encounter? Where should it go? We analyze this path in detail. We then determine the ideal method of discharge or infiltration into the groundwater. Our aim is to restore the natural water cycle, which functions perfectly in nature, within urban environments as well.
From individual trees to global infrastructure projects, HAURATON considers the entire system. The company operates internationally, with subsidiaries in 15 countries and projects in over 70 markets. At the same time, it has remained a family-owned business for 3 generations.
Our goal is to support urban areas with our solutions. We help them prepare for heavy rainfall events as well as for prolonged periods of drought. That is our mission and our vision.
Sensor-based systems capture, connect and control the handling of rainwater. This allows cities to irrigate efficiently even under stress conditions and protect themselves against flooding at the same time.
This creates significant added value for cities and municipalities. For example, soil moisture sensors installed at tree locations can inform the city when a tree requires water. At the push of a button or through automated control, water can then be pumped from a tank or reservoir to supply the tree with treated rainwater. We are currently working with a startup specializing in the practical implementation of digital rainwater management. The focus is on understanding the path of the water, not simply diverting it, but actively managing it and recognizing it as a resource. Digital tools support us effectively. There is no longer a need to be on site to inspect conditions, lift manhole covers, or check water levels. Soil tests are no longer required in the same way. Digital solutions can take over many of these tasks.
Rainwater, which has increasingly become a challenge due to climate change, can now be used as a valuable resource. Forward-looking solutions ensure that cities become more resilient, benefiting both people and nature.